Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. I am a podcaster at heart. This is what I was born to do. And, many of you guys, you've messaged me and you've said, Aaron, I had a sibling who he told me every single day that your podcast was the only thing that kept him alive. And the second that you stopped uploading your podcast, he unfortunately got a hold of our grandfather's samurai sword from Japan, and he performed that thing that they do. What is that thing that they do where they get on their knees and they kill themselves with the sword?
The
Harushaka?
I don't know exactly what it's called, but
yeah,
they got like a big thing of honor like that.
Yes,
Or they'll use a grenade.
Yeah. You either do a grenade or a sword, and apparently many of you had siblings who used the sword method because you all have missed the podcast so much. So
I'm gonna look it up of what it's called.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Dude, you really are like young Jamie now, actually. Yeah, pull that shit up. So guys, look, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm a podcaster, right? All of my gold, really the best content I ever create is from podcasting. So that's what I'm bringing back to the table here. I'm not going to make some grand announcement to you guys. We're not making any promises over here. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, we're going to drop 100 episodes in the next 50 weeks. I don't know, dude. All I know is that I'm by a pool. I want to do a podcast, and you guys enjoy the podcast, so let's rock and roll. What's it called?
Harakiri.
Harakiri. Okay, yes. So I do apologize to anybody out there who's missed the podcast so much that your mental health or the mental health of others have suffered. Now that I live in Austin, Texas, do you think I could get Joe Rogan on this podcast?
Yeah, I think if you push hard enough and talk to the right people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I would have to start doing stand-up comedy again at the Vulcan and meet Rogan that way.
The Creek in the Cave as well.
Right. Yeah. Maybe his new club too. I could start doing open mics again, meet Rogan, and then in that way say, have one of the first things I say to him, hey, Joe Rogan, I want you to take a look at this podcast where I sit in front of a pool with, probably an unfocused camera. There is some sort of maybe a baby shower going on behind us. And, maybe Rogan would want to be a part of this.
The stand-up scene here is insane.
It is.
There's always open mics.
It is insane. So, one of the first things I wanted to talk about today with all of you is I was going to text you about this, dude, but I figured now would be a good time to bring it up. You might not even live in this world where you're even thinking about this after it happens. I was very disappointed when you and I were walking to the gym and that girl was getting out of the car with all the bags and the dog. Do you have any recollection of what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
So here's why I was disappointed. So was she in a hoodie and sweatpants? Yes. But could you tell that she's hot still with all of that? Of course. She was roughly 30, I would say. She was hot. I bump into my young protege here at the gym. We go walking, and after our workout, he's going to finish his, and this woman is getting out of a car. And my exact words, just as we're walking by her, I'm always preaching to be socially expansive, talking to people around you. And so I just say, hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? And, the thing is that is what would you maybe call that? Anything that comes to mind for you?
Just being friendly and saying what up.
Right, yes. And I like to call it a tester. It's sort of a tester in a way because you're not really doing an opener yet. It's the same as before an open, say at the grocery store. Before I saw you over here, I thought you were really cute. I wanted to come say hi. Instead of that, it's like, hey, what's up? And that's your first little tester of her being like, yeah. or going, hey, not much. What's up? Oh, nothing. I just thought you were really cute. I want to say hey. So that was a tester where I'm just like, hey, how's it going? And she doesn't shut down. She doesn't turn away from us or good and move on. She just immediately goes, I am tired as fuck. Mm-hmm. And as she says that, She's now kind of turning the corner back. I'm still talking to you. Now you and I are splitting up because you're going into the gym as well. All of these things are kind of all just happening at once. But I was thinking about it afterwards, and I mean, dude, what is more ideal than sleeping with a chick that lives in our building?
Well, like a thing that you're saying, it's like gauging other people's, like the interest, you know. So like, let's say if you're trying to make a sale or whatever you're trying to do, when you like first start talking to someone, you can see there's like a fine-tuned nuance that you have of like reading people's body language, seeing what kind of state they're in and their willingness to talk to you. You know?
Yes, absolutely. And so what I would call this is sort of reading somebody's openness.
Yes.
Their receptivity, their availability to be social. We all know those girls that legitimately you go up with any opener. Oh, hi. Yeah, that's so funny. And then we know the girls that are just like, and they fucking pepper spray you right out the gate, right? That's 0. That's 100. So this woman, you know, I mean, dude, that's like my dream is to have a fuck buddy in the buildings.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Like,
Have you fucked anyone in these buildings? No, I'm sorry. No. Let's go ahead with your original thought you were going to say before that.
It's just, I mean, convenience is key. Like, I remember being in Quantico, and like the furthest place like to go out was a 30-minute drive, and there's probably, so let's say this, right? Let's say you're a guy. There's a lot of dudes that I know, and they're living in these their hometowns, and you know it's more of a place to like raise a family and stuff. It's not really a place for like a young man or young professionals, and whatever local bar, it's kind of far away, so it's kind of a drive. Like you've said before, you need to get into a position where you live in a fun city, and that's just money. Like you need some money and some freedom, and then you can't be tied down to a job. But you just gotta, I mean, you can make some shit work with like $8,000.
Oh yeah.
Like you can even stretch it and make like, have $5,000, and you can put down a deposit somewhere. Like there's places around here that are like $1,000 a month. You can go get a job. Let's say if you're kind of a gym guy, like go get a job at LA Fitness, start to learn how to sell stuff, or not even in the gym, but like learn how to sell. Yeah. You know, and that leaks out socially too, learning how to sell, because socially you're selling yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, yeah, so convenience.
Yeah, convenience is big, and that's why I really want to, you know, I did actually do an approach at the Yellow Gym the other day here in the building, and it went well. It went okay. I decided not to close right then in that moment because I know I'm going to see that girl again. So I figured, you know, let me let it breathe a little bit. But man, I just want a regular in these buildings. Like, just think about that, right? It's 10 p.m. What's up? What are you doing? Walk down the hallway. It would just be perfect. Well, and I want to say this too. I do want to say this. This is very, very important. A lot of guys are little babies about like their personal space.
Yeah.
So where I'm tying that in here is what you're saying about living in a bigger city, living around a lot of people. Look, if you're 40 and you've got a family, dude, I don't want to live here when I'm 40 and have a family. I want to be out in the burbs. I don't want my wife going out to fucking 6th Street on a Friday night. That ain't going to happen. So we're going to go out to the burbs. But if you aren't balling like that and you can't afford to live in a really nice building in a really nice location, dude, suck it up and live with some roommates. Like, get over whatever little neurotic thing it is. What a little bitch boy sort of. You ever hear guys that talk like this? They're like, I just like when people make a mess around me, it's just like, oh, I just can't. Like, I have to live on my own.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Oh, the mess around you is going to like stress you out. Or like, what the fuck? Get over it.
Yeah. It's like, you gotta put yourself in some different situations. Like, you could also, and there's like on the campus too, like by the universities, you could live in a pretty like big space with like 3 other dudes that go to college or a university.
Yeah.
And pay like, $700-800 a month.
Dude, even cheaper, honestly. Even cheaper.
That's a high price in it. And then you're in a fun spot.
Bro.
So you can like, I don't know, get out of your shitty hometown.
You know what my dream is, low key? You want me to tell you my life's greatest ambition? So I want to move back to Columbus, Ohio. But there's specifics to this. I want to get on Craigslist and I want to find a borderline frat scenario on OSU campus, right? Where it's 4 fucking Chad type dudes. They're in like junior year. They fucking rage. Maybe one of them is in a frat, right? We've got like, they're just having huge parties every weekend and they post on Craigslist, we're looking for a roommate. Me and Chad and Craig and Chris, like we need another fucking roommate. And, rent's like whatever, $400 to $600 a month. And I tell them, I go, I'm down, I'm in, I'll pay the year up front. Let's make this happen. They're like, sick, bro, sounds good. I go, there's one catch. They're like, what? I'm like, well, I'm 30. I'm like, I'm like 35 almost at this point. They're like, oh shit, bro, we're looking more for like college. And I'm like, let's slow the roll here, all right? I am not professional. I will be raging with you guys. That's the goal.
Yeah, I hate frats.
Okay, you hate them.
Just to curveball all of it.
Okay,
but I mean, it's whatever you like, though.
Yeah.
But I've had god awful experiences with frats, but that's because I didn't really like do college. And yeah, but
yeah, I wouldn't want to be in the frat itself.
I know what you're talking about, though.
I want the frat life again. Yeah. I feel I'm 32 now, and there is a part of me that I feel is mourning my youth in some ways. 32 is a very, dude, and I didn't get it before, and now I get it. It is a very strange age where you're not 20s anymore. You're not in your 20s. You're not in your 40s. You're not in your mid-30s yet. You're at this stage. Like right now, I feel this immense pressure to choose my direction. In a pressure I've never felt before. Because when you're younger, you feel like you've got all the time in the world. You might get into politics eventually. You might become an actor one day. You might become this. You might live here. You might do that. When you're in your 20s, how old are you again?
25.
Bro, you're 25. It's like the world, you could right now uproot. You end up in Thailand for 4 years. You're still 29.
Being a kickboxer.
You meet some bitch out there that's fucking German. She brings you back to Germany. You guys are involved in like some crazy sex cult for 3 years, and now you're 32. It's like when you're in your 20s, there's so much potential and opportunity, and it's not to say that I don't feel as though I have that anymore. I do think that I still have that potential, but when you get older, there starts to become a lot of costs. There's a lot of costs involved, not even financially, but in choosing some sort of a nomadic or insane lifestyle. And it starts to get heavy where you're like, okay, should I get fucking married and have a kid? And I know my audience. I know there's some guys sitting here right now, that's fucking, marriage is fucking whatever. But I also know that the vast majority of my audience will get married.
Yeah.
All these fucking, and it's so funny too, like some of the most beta fucking loser dudes I know are the ones that will post the most like, monogamy's a scam. Yeah. You haven't even fucked 4 girls in the last 4 years. Don't talk about how monogamy's a fucking scam. You would date the first 6 that's down to date you. Right? Like a lot of these fucking guys. It's crazy.
The one thing they were saying, like a lot of the other like people I've talked to that are older than me have like asked for advice and stuff like that. I remember this one guy, he's my brother's boss, Anyways, long story short, he looks at me and he's like, dude, you're 25. You can fuck up as much as you want. Mm-hmm. And he walked away. But then yes. That's a double-edged sword.
It is. It is. There is this man, yeah, I don't even think I want to get too into this, but I do feel like I'm sort of at a little bit of a midlife crisis. I don't think always has to be bad. Crisis isn't always bad. Well, crisis is chaos. I feel like I'm more in midlife chaos where, again, I am just like, holy fuck. I am at an age now where many of the options that I thought I might go, the directions, you can't do everything. You literally cannot do everything. Any dreams I had of living in New York, of living in LA, of living in fucking I wanted to live by Arizona State for a while and just try to like fuck those college girls because they're so hot down there. But eventually you got to choose a couple of these. Yeah. You can't fucking be all over. So you start noticing that these options they're really starting to wane. Not to say that that's bad. Life, I think, pushes you into commitment. And so I'm at this stage now where, there's a girl that I've been seeing. You've met her, I think, once. I think you maybe twice or something. Yeah. I love that girl. I love that girl to death. I'm in this position where, and dude, I mean, truly, if anyone was down to like get married or something, this girl is it. Like literally checks every box humanly possible. But I'm a degenerate. I'm a fucking degen. I'm a degen. It's like nothing about her at all. She's like literally any box you could think of, she fucking checks. Except one, I guess, which would be the down for a completely open, like fucking threesomes every weekend, pulling bitches with me. Other than that one insane box, which most of those girls are mentally insane. The girls that are really down for that, most of them are mentally insane.
Go
ahead.
The thing that you're saying about the degeneracy. Yeah. Like, in Breaking Bad, like Jesse Pinkman. Yeah. Like complete fuck up, right? Mm-hmm. But there's like some sort of honor like with him. He has a lot of loyalty. Yeah. And then he turns into a straight badass. Like the first episode all the way till El Camino, like he grows up and matures, and like there's this thing, and there's this like attraction to being like a washed up rock star, to being like a Jesse Pinkman type of person, but there's some attraction towards that, like I feel there's a couple people that I've trained, and they're like very well established people. And when I'm telling them about like living in Austin and stuff, and I'll start telling some stories, they want to keep hearing it. Like and in a way I can see in their eyes, they're like, oh, I'm like living through this young dude right here. Keep telling me these stories, because they can't really go for a night out. Like they got a bunch of responsibilities. They can't go for a night out and drink and just go and, just let it off. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like with what you said about like the degeneracy, there's a bit of attraction to it, and then there's the yin and yang. You can go too far out with it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean, even that whole thing I wanted to comment on, where somebody told you, you're 25, you can, fuck up a whole lot. Dude, something that I've even just been thinking about lately is I remember being like 28 and 29, and I remember I would have this thought. I would say it. There's probably podcasts from that time period. I would say this thing all the time where I would go, dude, I can't believe I'm not even 30 yet. It just feels like I've lived so much life, so much experiences. I couldn't believe I wasn't 30. Now that I'm 32, I'm like, oh, fuck. Those 3 years, 29 to 32, they come fast, man. Yeah. So on one hand, yes, you could fuck up a decent amount still, but you want to be kind of set up want to be kind of set up by the time you are 32. I'm very blessed in the sense that I chose a business that sort of thrives off of my degeneracy. In a lot of ways, right? It's well said. If I had a normal job, I wouldn't be able to have crazy stories of like being in Miami and having this insane shit. I was paid to go to Miami for that whole weekend. I was paid to go, to LA for this weekend. A lot of these stories I have, they're because of the degenerate
lifestyle and career path that I chose. But it really does start to go by faster when you start getting older. And so, yes, you can fuck up, but also I think it's important as a young man, and for myself as well, just to be fucking jacked, fuck a lot of hoes, and make a lot of money.
Yeah, there's this dude named Bedros Keuilian.
I thought you were gonna say there's this dude named Andrew Tate.
Shout out to
who's
him.
Bedros Keuilian?
So he made this thing called Fit Body Boot Camp, I think, or whatever. He has this other thing called the MDK Project. He's fucking legit. But I started researching him when I was trying to sell like more personal training. But man, fuck, I forget. Oh, here it is. So he has this thing. It's called Get Jacked, Make a Lot of Money, and like with what you just said, it reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Back and then back to the thing that you said, like you feel like you've lived a lot of life, right? You know, a lot of the combat vets that I've talked to, they said like in their like first firefight or any sort of intense firefight, and it probably lasts. I forget exactly how long it lasted, but not a very long time. So it all varies with each individual. But I remember this one guy. He said it was a quick one, and it was his first one. But he lived like so much in 5 minutes than he ever did in his whole existence by just how intense that shit was.
Yeah.
So it's like going through like intense things. Like, you know, when I'm kickboxing, when I'm in this gym with like, there's ought to be like 100 other people in this big ass gym all fighting and getting some. And when I was sparring with this dude who was like 17 and he pieced me up, and like that was like intense as fuck because like I'm living and I'm just so focused and present. Like nothing matters. No bills matter. Like worrying if my car is going to start doesn't matter. It all matters of like just not trying to get hit in the fucking face. So like, so like any dude that's watching it, that's, you know, all down and out, and I've been there like super heavy. Like, dude, you got to just get up and go live. Like go run. This sounds insane, but like go run 5 miles. Yeah. Like that's gonna, and don't even run it all the way through, but just, you can walk it, but like do a fucking sprint.
And
like,
die, hurt your joints, be sore for days, like whatever the fuck.
Put Goggins on your headphones and just fucking get like pissed at the world and run. Like you're gonna live and you'll probably sprint for like a minute maybe. You're gonna live and like feel like all your tea like build up and stuff. Like that's life, you know. Yeah. Go kickbox,
dude. We are greatly incentivized to not live life.
Yeah, and it's the bullshit,
dude. We are
that is being fed to you,
dude. We're so incentivized to not live life. Think about what you did in the 60s. If you didn't live life, you were just in this fucking house, looking around. There's a black and white TV with 4 channels.
Bored as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, so if you didn't go out and socialize or do some sort of exercise or just, dude, I think people used to just go hang out. That's why there used to be like soda bars. There was soda bars.
The Fonz walks up and hits the thing.
Dude, yeah, like it was just a soda bar. That's how much people were craving social interaction, was that you could just go to a place to drink soda. It was just to be around people.
Well, then on top of that, there's a dude like the Fonz, right? He's like, he's made up of like, the Fonz, like he's the fucking guy, right? Okay, so then that was years ago. Now, like with pop culture, like you said, you know, you're bored, there's the TV and shit like that. Now it's like when I was a young kid, and you as well, but like we would go out and do bad shit. Like we go ding dong ditch. We'd like TP houses and stuff like that. But now these kids, they're like TV, iPad, video games, like they're slowly being fed like all this media and this weird shit like that. And their brains aren't going to develop the same in a way.
Leaving the house is pain for many of them. And I have a 20-year-old brother who love him to death. He's great, but he doesn't want to leave the house. I said to him, he's now listening to a lot of the emo music I listened to when I grew up. Oof. And I told him, I was like, bro, I was like, there's this, I'm so glad you're into this now. He's playing me these songs that I was listening to at 14 and shit. I'm like, this is awesome. I told him, I'm like, dude, there's this huge festival. What?
Like, sorry.
Oh, what?
So, like, actually, go on and then I'll.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, I told him, I'm going to take you to this festival in Vegas. I almost went last year. I bought a ticket. I ended up selling the ticket last minute. But there's a festival in Vegas now for emo bands. And I told him that, dude, he wasn't excited. His first initial response was literally like, I mean, like, to these kids, dude, not having the video games and the TikTok and the Instagram just ready to roll all the time, having it accessible at all times, it's just work. You are incentivized by, I mean, dude, porn. The level of porn now is insane. Yeah. TikTok is absolutely the most addictive social media platform that's ever existed.
TikTok is fucking terrible.
It's insane.
And, well, so TikTok's owned by China, actually.
Yeah.
And then there's a thing with Joe Rogan too that he talks about how they can monitor keystrokes, and then all the government agencies, they have banned TikTok on a government device.
Yeah.
So then
it just passed that if you're a member of the House of Representatives now, you cannot have the TikTok.
So that's fucked. And then the thing too about the emo music that you said, like, I remember seeing you like, is the music you're listening to like affecting your life negatively?
Yeah.
Because like I remember I listened to a lot of like Jerry Cantrell and Nirvana, and like I was listening to a lot of like the Jocko podcast and playing Call of Duty all the time. I got into like kind of a weird little dark place, like, so like you can't be like, you know, destroying your mind with all that like all the fucked up shit. And then well, the porn addiction, right? I saw this the other day. It says like America's porn addiction is going off the rails, right? And I forget which senator this is, but he said this. He goes, get off the internet and go meet a girl. And I was like,
oh, that was Senator Josh Hawley, I believe. I think I saw that viral clip. Yeah.
I was like, that is fucking
go
profound.
Meet a real girl, ask her out. Yeah, I mean, it is insane. And just so you guys know, he's referring to an email that I blasted out. So if you're not receiving my fucking profound emails, go to evolutiondaily.com, pick up my free course, The Perfect Approach. I don't even know why I would have to sell you on that. It is literally, have you ever looked at The Perfect Approach? Maybe not, because you did a boot camp a long time ago. You know, we know each other well, so whatever. It's literally better than, a couple people have told me this, that they've bought courses from other people and that my fucking freebie giveaway is better than the shit they paid for. It's insane. It's fucking like over an hour. It'll blow your guys' mind. So go get that. It's The Perfect Approach. It's on evolutiondaily.com, and now you'll also receive my emails and shit. But yeah, dude, we are living in the most unique generation that there's ever been. I was 5 to 10 to, dude, I was 5 to 16, and we're out still beating each other with sticks and just meeting in the woods to do what? Because Matt and Sam were like maybe gonna fight, and we were gonna build a ramp and ride and dirt and fucking do a ramp in the woods and build a dumb little bridge over a stupid creek. Like, you just met in the woods. That was it. And then around 2005 or so is when, yes, we had the internet before, but that's when it just took off. MySpace was getting real big, and you started to have that. There was, man, like, when MySpace started to pop, dude, this was so unique and interesting because you had this weird thing where there was people you would talk to online on MySpace. I don't know if this exists anymore, but you would talk to people on MySpace, but then you would see each other at school and ignore each other. Like, pretend that you never really talked. Guys and girls would do this. Guys would do this. It was a very weird thing. Almost like there was still this level of shame about being so active on the internet. You almost pretended it didn't happen. Very weird stuff. I know there's somebody that's like exactly my age that remembers what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, dude, at the end of the day, go talk to some fucking girls, go work out, and kill yourself in the workout. Bro, I didn't tell you this, but I'll tell you and I'll tell the audience this. My workouts for a little while now have been terrible. Horrible, dude. No intensity. The motivation's been down. Energy's been going down. And then when I do push myself to do the workout, afterwards, I am dead. I'm done for the day. So I've been timing my workouts for when I'm done with my official work that I have to do, because I'm just going to die after the workout. Made a post about this in the Evolution Daily Mastermind, which if you guys are not fucking in, go to evolutiondaily.com and fucking sign up for a call with my assistant Alex to infer about coaching. But I made a post in the Mastermind where I asked the guys, I said, my workouts are lacking intensity. I'm dead after the workout. I said, what do you guys think about pre-workouts, this and that? Got a lot of good responses. We're all good conversation. One kid says, how's your cardio? Because your cardio is a prime factor in the way that your body can same day recover. I don't know if you're aware of that. Basically your cardio health. So I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, my cardio is terrible right now. And it got to the point where my heart, I could feel, dude, I was having like heart palpitations and stuff. And at the end of the day, bro, being straight up, for about 2 years now, I've chewed about a Juul pod of nicotine a day.
Chewed a Juul pod of nicotine?
I've chewed a Juul pod of nicotine a day. 40 milligrams a day of nicotine.
40?
Minimum. Okay. That's 10 pieces. I would chew 40 to 48 pieces of nicotine or milligrams of nicotine a day for years now. And when you first start that, you're zooted off of it. It's like Adderall.
Yeah.
Fucking, dude, I feel so in the zone. And now you associate that feeling of being in the zone with the nicotine, and you just assume it's continuing. So I started to look deeply into the effects of nicotine on not only cardiovascular health, but also on mental function, on all of this stuff. And bro, there is this weird corner of the internet. I don't know if any of you guys are on this corner, but there's this corner of the internet that really glorifies nicotine use. It is fucking poison. It is terrible for you. In small doses, if you can moderate, if you're one of those fucking psychos that can hit a Juul 2 times a day, yeah, it's going to help you with focus and make you feel good. But if you are consistently doing nicotine, it is destroying your veins, your heart. You're getting less oxygen to your brain, so you're getting fucking anxiety. Your focus is down. It is destroying your life. So right now, I'm 4 days. It's all it takes, dude. Literally, even after 2 days, you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Today's day 4. Got in there, did that workout. I was in there for a little while before you showed up. I got in some fucking good lifts, busted out 50 push-ups there near the end, and was ready to come do this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm fucking like healed from it already. So,
that's good.
Dude, I'm just like, I'm so pumped to just keep working on this, because also, man, dude, like when you're fucking, there's nothing worse than running out of breath. When you're trying to come just because you're running out of breath, I mean, it's awful. You're just like, fuck, like I want to come because I need to, like, I want to take a break from this intense workout. It's not good. It's really not good. So yeah, just get off the nick.
This guy that I know, right?
Yeah.
He was hooking up with this girl, and at this time, this dude was like heavy into drinking, right? And, was hooking up with this girl, like piss drunk, and for some reason, it's just all the alcohol combined, like the lack of water, the biggest pain in his right side
while fucking.
And I was like, he was like, like,
yeah,
kept it cool, but I'm just like, fuck,
like a cramped kidney or something.
So that's why, like, you know, you got to be hydrated. And then, so the one thing that I will say, like with the nicotine and stuff like that, like, for some reason, even when I was younger and I started like experimenting with shit and like we started smoking cigarettes, my body just hates nicotine.
Wow.
Like I don't even, like, I'll hit Juuls like when I'm out just to like have fun and shit. Like, why not hit a Juul? But like, you'll never catch me like I don't like dip. Like, I don't, I don't know. My body just fucking rejects it. I love caffeine, but I don't know. I feel like
that's good.
I feel pretty blessed that my body like rejects it.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. There's that philosophical thought that a lot of children have, where all children will eventually reach this point where they're like, "How do I know that blue to me is blue to you?" Maybe your blue is my red. Like, there's no way for us to know. It's like almost like a childlike philosophical thought. Well, I feel this way about substances. I really do. I do not think. So for you, where you're saying that your body like rejects nicotine,
yes,
the fucking kid that's out there right now who can't get off the Juul pod, you guys, I don't think are having the same experience.
No, we're not.
I don't think you are. I really believe that it might be a completely different drug to him than it is to you. My buddy Dale the Whale, he still drink. I don't know what his deal is, but I will casually mention, I'm very sensitive to caffeine. I'm fucking zooted off of coffee. I'll mention that from time to time to him. He's like, I don't feel anything. I'm like, well, then why do you drink it? He's like, I only drink it because I'll get a headache if I don't, but I don't get any sort of a boost from it.
Yes, yeah.
I was like, that's like a fucked up addiction.
It's more of like a coping.
Yeah.
That's the thing with like cocaine.
Yeah.
Like, there's people I know that will just rip lines and they love it.
Yeah.
And like, but then, when you're on the come down of it, it's like, it affects people differently. I have a terrible come down. And, so like, I just remember this one time, this one girl was just railing lines. Like, I'm just watching her do it. And I'm like, how the fuck can you do that? Like, I can't. I have a terrible fucking come down. But so it's like drugs affect people differently. And then like with like beer, right? Like like I'll drink beer like the situation dictates, right? If I'm with a group of dudes, like we'll grab brew and stuff. You'll never really catch me by myself just drinking brews. Or if I go out, I'm not really grabbing a beer. I'm taking tequila shots. And with tequila, take the salt and the lime. It's a little experience. But high quality tequila, you're not gonna get that hungover. Like you'll feel weak and tired in the morning, but you're not gonna have like a pounding headache from all the sugar. Yeah. And you'll get drunker quicker. Yeah. With less money spent, honestly.
Yeah, and you feel so heavy from beer. I unfortunately do love beer when I am drinking. I've been sober now for 2 months, going on 2 months. In like a week, it'll be like 2 months. But I love beer. But cocaine, man, that's a wild one. I have not done coke in a while. I was out. Have you ever heard me in my videos talk about a bar called Standard?
Yes.
Yeah, tons of times, right? Yeah. Me and Alpha Chad used to say that we're gonna make a pull doll of me, like Woody, where you pull the string, and it's just got my catchphrases, and it's like, excuse me, do I know you from Standard? Excuse me, do you hang out at Standard by chance? There's gonna be several of them, but so I'm out one night, and this is a night where I'm off the rails and I'm totally sober, but I just have so much energy. I was so excited to go out. And, dude, I don't even remember which wing I'm with, but I am just fucking banging out sets and I'm high energy and I'm just fucking going in. And I'm like, holy shit, to this girl. And I'm like, I loved Fearless. And she's like, what? And I'm like, you're Taylor Swift, right? She had like Taylor Swift-esque features, you know. Whatever. She's like, what the fuck? Like, why do people tell me that? And whatever. We have this whole dumbass dialogue. And she ends up thinking that me and who the fuck was I with? Maybe my old roommate Trey. I think it might have been Trey. But she thinks that we're on Molly. And so she's asking us, like, you guys really aren't on drugs? All this shit. We're like, no, what the fuck? And we seem that way. We are just amped up. I always tell guys who default to needing alcohol to go out, I'm like, the high that you can achieve from doing a bunch of sober approaches, I'm sure you've achieved that, where you don't allow any downtime. You just like, bang, bang, bang. Rejection, great set, number close, move on, another one, rejection, you just no time in between. Bro, you will reach this insane fucking flow state. But, so this girl thinks we're on Molly and this and that, and it's fun, and she ends up actually telling us that she has coke, and at first I started to think that she's trying to like sell it to us or something. And we end up just parting ways. I get her number. Oh, yeah, let's fucking meet up later and do lines, whatever. So, end of the night comes around, and it's around like 2:30. And I text the girl, because I'm texting several of my leads now at this point. And she responds instantly. She's just instantly down to hang out. And I'm like, fuck, this girl really wants to do lines of coke. I've been sober off of alcohol at this point for 4 years or something. I'm not trying to do coke. So she ends up coming over to my house. I meet her at my place. She's already in an Uber. She's like, I'm going to reroute it to your place. So she comes over. And the problem is that the next day at like 11 a.m., I have to be at a wedding. I have to go to this wedding with my main chick at the time. And I pray to God, this girl knows all about my fucking podcast and all this. I hope she never sees this part. I think I've probably confessed this to her at a certain point. But so this girl comes over, and I think the coke was like so pure and so good that I did not.
Better than bad coke.
It was really good coke. I didn't get coke dick or anything. Dude, me and this chick, just from 2:30 literally until 10:30 in the morning, we would just alternate between doing like lines of coke. Dude, but like sick shit. I would just eat her out for like an hour at a time. We'd be 69ing. We were raw dogging, like, and then we would just have long makeout sessions, both of our mouths on them. It was this like insane 8-hour tantric coke fueled just mess. Debauchery. Bro. Just I think I'm going to hell for that night. That's it. That was my one irredeemable evening where no matter what charity I give to, whether I give my life to God, it's over for me. And then the worst part, dude. So the worst part is then, have you ever been to a Catholic wedding?
So I've actually never been to a wedding, and I've been to like 2, 3, 4, 5 funerals. 5 or 6.
It's a bad omen.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm thinking, I've been to weddings in my life. I'm thinking a wedding.
Oh, so you go to this right after that night.
An hour after. I mean, straight up, I'm kicking this girl out at 10:30 in the morning to now go meet up with my main chick at 11 to now go. I'm throwing on my nice clothes and stuff. I mean, this is horrendous, bro. And so now we go to the wedding, and this is not a normal wedding. I know somebody out there knows what I'm talking about. Catholic weddings, dude. Okay, normal Christian wedding. The music plays. The ceremony is 15 minutes. Yeah. The vows. The people are coming in. You're doing your thing. Everyone kisses. It's a beautiful day. A Catholic wedding is a full-blown church ceremony with a wedding in it. So I go to church, passing around the bucket, people getting up and down on their knees, doing the whole thing. This fucking pedophile
taking the body of Christ.
Yes.
And the blood of Christ.
No, you could choose to not do that because you had to go get in line, so I chose not to do that. But this fucking pedophile is up here, and he's singing / talking in Italian. It's just fucking like, and Christ said unto the fucking people, like, dude, they do this weird singing, talking thing, and I am there for hours, bro. And now I'm withdrawing from coke, and I'm sitting there just like tweaking and shit, dude. And then we have to go to this fucking, what's the next part called? Reception.
Yeah.
We have to go to the reception, and now we're sat with just all these people we don't know, and there's this one couple that is just over the top social, just one of those guys.
Talking about religion too.
Really good to meet you, man. Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I'm Chris. Really good to meet you.
And it's like a very fake nice.
Oh, it's this big smile right in your face and a firm handshake and like
friendly facade.
Oh God. And so how long you been in Columbus then, man? Nice. You big Buckeye fan? You like a Buckeye fan, dude. Yeah. I'm fucking about to have an aneurysm from this withdrawal of coke and from you now and your fucking aura, your energy. Yeah. But you know what, though? You can't shame people for being that way. That is a good way to be.
Yeah, better than fucking not.
But you know what it is, man? You know what it is I think a big skill that I've learned in the game over the years, and this is what a lot of guys are missing actually, is I've learned to meet people where they're at. Meet people where they're at. So that night, where I meet that girl. We have tantric coke sex for 8 hours, and then I go to the Catholic wedding. Let's say I went in all hot, like I said. I'm fucking, I loved you and fearless, speak now, fucking whatever. But she was like way fucking, like, whatever. I now, because I still think she's hot, I still want to seduce her, I still want to have sex with this girl, I now am going to not fully match, but I'm going to take it, I'm going to meet her where she's at.
Calibrate.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. I thought you were Taylor Swift for a second. No, I'm not. What's up? What do you guys, are these your friends? I'm not going to keep like bang, joke, fucking crazy. And a lot of guys are not doing that.
Well, it's a lot of social intelligence. Mm-hmm. And I think you can only get that by putting your feet in the fire and exposing yourself.
Yes.
Like, God, what was it? Fuck. Let me look up the quote really quick.
Do you think Andrew Tate is guilty?
I don't want him to be guilty.
Right.
But I will say this. So he predicted his arrest too. And they always say this. Well, they always say this, right?
Yeah.
He does, though. He does predict
If I'm doing illegal shit every day, I'm going to tell you also they're going to get me one day.
So he says this, though. And this is very true about, like, the government and all that.
Yeah.
And when you have so much influence like that, they give you 3 strikes. They try to cancel you, then they'll arrest you, then they'll kill you. They're trying to kill him in prison. Oh, and then
could you imagine?
Oh, dude!
If you fucking pull up your phone and you got a fucking Twitter thing that said Andrew Tate found hung in prison,
and Tristan, dude,
both of them together. No, they would only kill Andrew. Tristan's popular,
but then Tristan would go on a warpath.
Yeah, but yes, if you love their world, then you like Tristan. But he's not. No one talks about Tristan. He is not.
But he'd be out for blood, bro.
Yeah.
And all of the disciples. Anyways, though.
It would be insane if they found Tate dead in fucking prison.
So John McAfee, right?
Yeah.
He made McAfee security systems.
Mm-hmm.
Big billionaire. Anyways, he started talking shit about the government.
Yeah.
They arrest him on some bullshit charges. And then he makes a tweet, and he gets a tattoo saying "schwacked" on his shoulder. Mm-hmm. And he says, the government has been making subtle signs to me that they're going to kill me. Mm-hmm. So, I didn't kill myself. This is proof of it. The next day, he's found hung in a Mexican, I think it's a Mexican prison.
It was Belize or some shit. Costa Rica or something like that, yeah.
So, dude, that's
because he killed his neighbor. He did. It wasn't bullshit charges. He killed somebody.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, he did illegal stuff.
I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know the facts, so I shouldn't
documentary.
Speak like that.
It's a documentary. No, he's the shit. But no, I mean McAfee. Yeah, they definitely killed him. I forget what all he was. So he was actually very involved in the Epstein case.
Oh, really?
He was really and had enough connections where he was getting to the bottom of some serious shit after they killed Epstein. And so that's why they fucking killed McAfee. He got deep into the Epstein stuff.
And you know what's insane too? Like Ghislaine Maxwell,
yeah.
Like the list never came out and her trial wasn't recorded.
Yeah.
And here's the thing and during all this time, that was when Kyle Rittenhouse was on trial. Mm-hmm. And Kyle Rittenhouse isn't like a saint. Like he's not like some god. Like he was just a dude in a position where he had to act, right?
Yeah.
Like he was just in a wrong place, wrong time. And like a lot of people hate him, a lot of people love him. Like I'm neutral. Like I just don't like he's just in a fucking desperate situation, right?
Yeah.
Like with self-defense. And here's the thing. His trial was so televised, but like that's the thing. Like the government's like, "Hey, here you go with this story. Don't look at this over here."
If yes, and I will say this, I was glued to the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, because if he went to jail, he would have given up. I think if they locked away Kyle Rittenhouse with all the footage, with everything, I would have. We were having this talk about like the demise of America shortly before we started recording. Yeah. That was going to be my Pearl Harbor if they locked away this poor fucking kid. Yes, was he a dipshit maybe for some different things, whatever, but this is all so clear cut. And everyone, well, why was he at the thing with the rifle? Doesn't matter. That part's legal.
Yes.
Doesn't matter, okay? You can't just, well, why did Brittany Griner bring the weed into the fucking Russia? Which is what the people on the right do. Doesn't matter. Did she break? We're talking about right and wrong here. We're talking, this is a bigger conversation. And so when that Kyle Rittenhouse verdict broke, dude, I was watching that bitch live. I was like on the edge of my seat. It was so intense and so amazing. And seeing the ignorance from the left.
Yes.
Dude, the ignorance. People compiled a fucking long thread of like famous people tweeting stuff about how Kyle Rittenhouse killed like 2 black people that night. He never killed a black guy. No one knew anything about the trial, but they were just posting whatever their favorite radical left-wing influencer. But let's get back to Tate.
Real quick before this.
Go ahead. Did you find the quote?
Yeah, so...
Is that your own quote? It's just like your handwriting on a piece of paper?
This comes from The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene.
Hell yeah.
So, there was a fox who had never seen a lion, but one day he happened to meet one of these beasts face to face. On the first occasion, he was so terrified that he felt he would die of fear. He encountered him again, and this time he was also frightened, but not so much as the first time. But on the third occasion when he saw him, he actually plucked up the courage to approach him and begin to chat. So, like, that's a thing of, like, I don't know, like, let's say you want to go out for the night and, you know, meet some girls. And you've never really done it before, you're gonna be fucking terrified, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that goes into social intelligence and calibration. When you've like talked to enough people, and you're like have gotten out of your little shell that you're in about meeting people, guys and girls, just meeting people in general. When you're out of that little shell and you're putting your feet to the fire, you're gonna be more calibrated and socially intelligent. Mm-hmm. So, like, that fucking quote hit me like a fucking train.
I like that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so it's you know, maybe we'll do a whole nother episode on Tate. Maybe we'll get to that. But this is very profound. I just made a video last week on this idea of social expansion. Of just, I mean, man, look, I'm actually really the most empathetic I've ever been in my life. I had this crazy epiphany, dude. I was slapped in the face by God at the airport one day. I've heard people say things like this, but it fucking hit me at the airport. This was recently. It was like a month ago. And this is what the epiphany was. I'm walking through the airport, and I remember I saw this group of people all discombobulated, and they're running to go to a gate. They're like just fucking, you know, they're dragging a kid. The mom's really fat. The dad's also fat. They just kind of look like shit. The dad's all scruffy, whatever. They're grabbing another kid. They're fucking running to the gate. And I remember my first thought coming up, and just to be completely honest, I'm just like, ugh, like fucking losers. That's my thought. Fat, running to your gate. Probably were eating McDonald's before you fucking got, you know. I'm just having negative thoughts about these people. And literally, I swear to God answered my negative thought and just said to me, nobody chose to be alive.
Yeah.
Dude, you did not have a say in this.
Nope.
You just one day realize, like, you're like 3 years old, and you start realizing, oh, I'm a person. Oh, okay, yeah, it's my mom, it's my dad. Okay, this is my fucking block. No one chose this shit. All that anyone chose is to not kill themselves. Everybody has just chosen to not die yet. That's it. So, and it's been this, I can't stop thinking about it. I think about it every fucking day, where I just see so many people just trying their fucking best. And I really feel, again, like I am the most empathetic I've ever been. Not to asshole behavior. I'm not there yet, right, where I'm like, oh, love the person that's, you know, maybe saying something evil about you or doing this evil thing. I'm not that enlightened. I don't think I ever will be. But just looking around the world and just like, man, this dude who, yeah, he's fucking broke. He's fat. He's addicted to video games. He didn't choose this at all. He was just sprung into fucking existence, and it was against his will. And here he is. It's like, it's crazy, man.
The thing that my brother's boss said too, he was doing a little speech, and with what you said, he goes like, so many things had to happen for you to be born. Like, your dad met your mom, and he said this is kind of funny. He's like, the temperature had to be right. She had to agree to go on a date with him. He couldn't have said anything stupid. Maybe he did, but the mom didn't really care. They had to get married. She had to be in the mood that night. Your sperm had to fight to like get into the egg. Maybe like a miscarriage happened, and then you were like the second chance of it, like all this shit like that. So, but then another thing too, right? Like people who are super down and out, they like don't have the coaching or the knowledge to get better. But let's say that somebody was in their life and they're playing like moto videos and they're like working out in front of them and they're like changing in front of them. That's going to motivate someone to like get better. Right. So, and it's about the people that you're around. So like, let's say just the average dude, like it doesn't work out, but like there's something going on. Like he's had a friend that he used to know and his friend is now like really getting jacked and like becoming successful. He's like, oh shit. Like he's getting there. Let me try to get there now. And then it's just the people that you're around, and then people. It's hard to go running, and it's hard to go and do good and try to make some things happen, but it's harder to not do anything good. It's harder to just sit back and give in to the instant gratification, like, and then live with yourself.
It's people like to say that, but unfortunately, it's so easy. It's hard
to live with yourself.
Yeah,
it's hard to live with yourself.
It's not, though, man. It's not. People are not. It's hard for us to understand how some people are wired, how most people are wired, because you have ambitions and goals. You want to hook up with chicks. You want to like live a cool life. Dude, most people, again, back to like not even choosing this life, they just want to get by. True. And they're fine with it. And I'll tell you this, man.
I can't like register that.
They just want to make it to bed that night. They wake up, they feel like shit. How can I get to bed without killing myself? Okay, I'm going to play this video game. Fuck, I got to go to this job, but when I'm done with that job, I got Wendy's to look forward to. I got this candy bar at home. I got this beer. I got this whatever. Yes, bedtime, baby. Let's go. And they do that every fucking day. And I think they're fine. Until a severe health thing happens, or you might have this pretty intense midlife crisis where it's not like, whoa, which direction do I want to go? To be a fucking crazy pimp the rest of my life, or marry this beautiful fucking woman and have a great family? They're sitting there at 35 like, oh fuck, I haven't done anything. Yeah. I haven't done a fucking thing. What have I done? So I think that part is definitely difficult. But
well, I guess it takes like something slightly traumatic for something to happen to someone for them to change.
Yeah.
There's this guy I know, he's died twice and now he's getting his fitness together.
Wow. Like heart attacks?
Yeah, wow. Shit like that. And then or maybe like a breakup, Yeah. That'll send a dude fucking forward. Like there's this one dude that I know, he had a really, really beautiful girlfriend and they're broken up now and she's always out. Like she's in Miami, she's in LA, she's getting everything paid for.
Fucked. Railed out on boats.
This guy is fucking lifting, meditating.
Okay.
Like just going off. And who's winning? Because like she's partying and going out super hard. He's grinding. And he used to not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It takes some shit to go down.
Yeah. And as men, this is a fucking fact, dude. Like, we age so much differently than women. We do. If we are in shape, we progressively look better and better. Do you see like 45, 50-year-old like actors and shit, or even just like random dudes? They're like still fucking good looking dudes. They're jacked. You can just tell, like, I bet their bitch is hot. Yeah. You look at a 50-year-old chick, you're not ever. Maybe you're like, she looks great for her age. It's for her age. Yeah.
This one dude that I know, he was actually my football coach. Crazy. I'm in Austin and I'm at the gym that I'm a trainer at, and I see him and we look at each other and he's like, Are you Elliot? And anyways, like we start talking and stuff. And anyways, he moved out here. He got divorced and stuff, and he comes out here And it was just insane going from my hometown to here, and he lives out here and stuff. So, and he's got to be like 50. He's like bald with a beard, jacked.
You guys grew up in the same area?
He was my football coach.
And now you ran into each other here in Austin.
In the gym.
Whoa, that's pretty crazy.
And then he's divorced and stuff. He's dating this like 30-year-old girl who's like dime. And he's like, and I could just see, like, you know, he's divorced and, like, you know, he's a realtor. He's doing good. And, like, I could see how much, you know, it's just like, and then, you know, so that's what you're saying is, like, men age better to an extent.
I think,
you know?
Yeah, I mean, big time. I don't think my future wife has been born yet.
Nah.
Or she's like 10 right now.
Nah.
My future wife is currently watching Coco. What is that big show? The big children's thing right now? I see it talked about on Twitter all the time. Coco Boo Coco or some shit. Fuck, I forget what it's called. But yeah, she's like 10 right now. You know? It's like,
you know, it's fucked up.
I'll be 47. She'll be 25. Boom. Let's fucking go. What?
Just the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Like how it's like how AI it is right now.
Oh yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Look, man, we've got a few minutes left.
Okay.
We can talk all day. We're going to be doing more of these. Guys, we're back, baby. This is, you know, I'm thinking about just ditching the entire name Evolution Daily.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, I thought I wanted to do like an RSD thing and have like a bunch of coaches. I tried a couple different guys, didn't work out for various reasons. I look at it now and I'm like, I don't know if I really want to add coaches. I think I'm just going to go all in on the Aaron Alexander name. Just my name.
Well, and that name goes well together, Aaron Alexander.
Dude, isn't it good?
It is
it's
good.
A good name.
And then on top of that, like with RSD, like they do a thing now. It's like some fucking mastery, something mastery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like going towards like self-help and like just improving yourself altogether.
Yeah.
And like, but the I see what you're saying though. But like that name, Aaron Alexander, like. It flows.
Well, and you know who I think about a lot? I think about this Patrick David Bet.
Yeah.
You know him?
Patrick Bet David?
He just recently, in less than the last year, switched to using his own name. I used to use him as an example of why I wanted to ditch the Evolution Daily name, because I had seen his content over and over and over again, couldn't tell you his name. He was the valuetainment guy.
Yeah.
There's somebody else out there. I'm trying to think.
There's like Fresh and Fit podcast, and like
now
I don't know those two guys' names.
For
but I see them
$1 million, couldn't tell you their names.
Yeah, I have no
And there's
idea.
something about a name. There's these two. I watched these lawyer commercials in Texas, and there's one guy, dude. There's the Law Giant, and then there's Jeff Davis Law Firm. I feel like I'm friends with Jeff.
Yeah, that's a better name.
There's something about a name.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm just thinking about ditching. I've met people that love my content and they don't even fully know my name.
Yeah.
They're like, Aaron Evolution Daily. And like, yeah, you're putting my things together, but it's like, I just think I want to be known by the name. So I think I'm just going to I'm going to just change the name of the channel, I think, to Aaron Alexander, and then make this the Aaron Alexander podcast. That's it.
I like that.
Yeah.
And then the one thing too, though, like it's people may not remember your name.
Yeah.
But they'll remember how you made them feel.
That's true. We got 4 minutes left on this thing. So we're going to do 2 more minutes. And then we're ooh, look at that.
So
she's thick, but she's fucking hot, dude. And she could fucking keep going.
The one thing is like you need to go fight and you need to go work out, and that's the two things that you have to start doing to just get better.
Yes, and we will cover that more in the next episode. But we've only got 2 minutes left, and I think if I don't turn it off before it actually runs out of battery, I could lose the whole episode. So guys, listen, go to evolutiondaily.com. I got boot camps coming up in New York, in Austin, in Miami. I'm coming to London, England. This podcast is fucking back, baby. And we just got so much fun shit coming up. As you guys can see, I'm uploading new videos all the time now. I actually just uploaded a video on YouTube. Did I hit public? Dude, I better have hit public on this video. Okay, I did. Thank God. How I keep my hair on TRT. All right, guys. See you in the next episode. Peace.